metal detectors, police officers, and video cameras. They're security measures that some schools put into place after the attacks here 10 years ago. But how much has really changed? It wasn't the first school shooting, but at the time, it was the deadliest. The tragedy at Columbine High School brought the issue of school security into the spotlight.
What we saw is in the days and months after the Columbine incident, the momentum was strong on school safety, the discussions, the activities around prevention and security and emergency preparedness were really headed on the right track.
That meant security guards, metal detectors, and surveillance cams, things rarely seen in schools before the tragedy, began popping up all over the country. Hundreds of thousands of dollars were pumped in, 6,300 police officers were added to faculties around the U.S., and schools geared up their safety nationwide. That was then, but 10 years later,
you have a whole new generation of school employees. You have students who are sophomores that were only kindergartners at the time of the Columbine attack, and the mindset, the personal connection to that event isn't there for everybody who's on the front lines in school today.
And as the story of Columbine faded into history, so has the funding for school safety. With the economy in shambles, federal funding for school crisis planning is down 25% in recent years. That's $10 million less. Frank DeAngelis, the principal at Columbine, believes high-tech security would not have prevented the massacre.
We need systems in place that figure out what caused so much hate in the heart of Klebold and Harris that they would be willing to go kill 13 people with hopes of killing more. But we do have surveillance systems now that are hooked up to our school district so they can monitor the school 24/7. We have emergency plans now in which we practice twice a year.
But with more than 30 major shootings since 1999, some experts say it's less about funding and more about the basics of school safety. For example, 15% of 445 educators polled in a recent survey said their school entrances are often left unlocked or unmonitored, and a third even admitted to propping doors open, giving outsiders easy access.
We could have facial recognition, biometrics, cameras, metal detectors in a school, and if a student walks up and still opens the door for a stranger who comes in and shoots somebody in the hallway, your physical security plan just went down the tubes. The first and best line of defense is always a well-trained, highly alert staff and student body.
According to a study of school shootings, in 3/4 of the cases, the attacker told someone about his plan beforehand. That's why both Ken and Principal DeAngelis say the best security system is you.
I talk to my students all the time about looking out for others. If they feel a friend is in trouble, or if they notice something is occurring out of the ordinary, or they see certain signs, that they know who to go to. What we try to teach our kids is you have victims, you have the perpetrator, and then you have bystanders. And it's important for us to get those bystanders to intervene, and then also get the support that those kids need.
The number one way that we find out about weapons in school isn't through a metal detector. It's from a kid who comes up to an adult that they trust in a school and reports somebody has a gun in their school, or there's a plot that somebody's going to do something. They're not snitching if they know something. By reporting, they may be saving somebody's life, including their own.
Columbine High School reopened 4 months after the tragedy, but every year on April 20th, the school closes its doors to remember and honor those who were lost. Tomorrow, we'll have more on Remembering Columbine. We'll see you then.